Hi, good morning everybody. I'm here to give you a briefing on how to travel from Philippines to United States during COVID-19 pandemic. To give you a brief review of what I did during the traveling, first you need to prepare the documents that you will need to travel out of your town going to Manila. So you have to prepare your barangay quarantine certificate if you were a former person under monitoring, such as me, because I had a travel history from New York to Philippines. Barangay quarantine certificate is usually given to people who had a travel history. But if you don't have any travel history, but you need to go to outside the country, you need a barangay certificate to be released by your barangay captain, and then you will have to present this barangay certificate or quarantine certificate to your local government unit or your town to have a health clearance. They will check you if you have any COVID signs and symptoms, and those are the two that you need to prepare from your LGU. Next, you also need to have a travel pass for you. You have to get it from Philippine National Police of your town, and travel pass of your driver too. So you and your driver need to have your barangay certificate, your LGU health clearance, and travel pass. So that's the three things that you need to prepare when going out of your town. Next, so upon arrival in the airport, they will allow you to wait in the waiting area for 24 hours prior to departure, but they will not allow you to enter the airport not until 4 hours before your departure time or prior to your boarding. I arrived in airport around 10 a.m. My flight is at 7 p.m. I was able to wait in the waiting area, but you're not allowed to enter the airport not until 4 hours. So I was allowed to enter around 2:30 p.m. So at the airport, depending on your airlines, they usually give you the U.S. health declaration form. You have to fill it out. It has all the information that you need to do. Actually not you need to do, just the information on about your whereabouts, where you've been to Philippines. And they will also give you a departure card from Bureau of Immigration. It's basically asking what's your reason for travel. So the current IATF recommendations allow passengers, I think in August 1 they allow passengers to have a non-essential travel, but you have to double check this. Basically my travel is actually essential, so I was able to leave the country. So during the boarding time, they added some additional security. They will swab your hand carry with drugs. You have to the basics of traveling. In the boarding area, no drinks are allowed. Food are okay as long as it doesn't spill. And the basics of traveling, so no baby powder or powder milk for more than 250 grams, no liquids, no aerosol, things like that, more than 100 mils. Okay, so at the airplane, it's basically the same when you're traveling, except that you're required to wear a mask. Well, some people require hazmat suit, but face mask is okay. I just wear my N95. I have a face shield that I wore in the airport, but I did not wear it inside the airplane because it's very difficult for me to move around, sleep with a face shield. So just a face mask. And don't be worried with the air, because the airline, or I think each airplane has a HEPA filter. The stewardess usually wear complete PPE. Okay, so don't be shocked. It's just part of being a new normal now when traveling. And upon arrival in the US, if you are a returning resident or a US citizen, there is a kiosk. I guess everybody knows this. You have a kiosk that it's kind of just enter information, scan your documents, and then they'll do it for you. Just have to take a picture of yourself. It's there too. All the instructions are there. And then it will have a paper, and it will print a little paper, and you have to show that to the immigration officer. The immigration officer will just ask you what's the reason you traveled to Philippines, and you just tell. They usually you have to declare any agricultural products in your bag. in your check-in bags. So for me, I have danggit, dried fish. They allowed it. Some inasin or fish sauce, they allowed it also. So basically, you just have to declare whatever you have in your bag. So some questions that I received recently is that do they require RT-PCR? So this will depend on your airline actually. So current guidelines, I guess people who have a transit or connecting flight from Abu Dhabi, from Taiwan, what else? Korea, Hong Kong, they required RT-PCR whether a transit passenger or that's your final destination, 48 to 72 hours prior to departure. So my airline is PAL or Philippine Airlines. I'm a direct flight from Manila to JFK. They don't require any RT-PCR as of the moment. So that's the current guidelines. So please check with your airline if they require an RT-PCR. The reason for this is not for the airline, but because of your destination or because of your connecting flight. So it's not, so double check with your airline or your destination if they require an RT-PCR. So yeah, so tips on traveling. This is very short. Do not travel sick, of course. Travel light, and then make sure that your travel is essential. You don't want to risk yourselves being exposed to the virus if you're just traveling for just happiness or things like that, just for vacation. No, so my travel is essential, especially if you're high risk like me. I'm pregnant and I have a placenta previa, so it will be difficult to travel. But you just have to make sure that all you have is your emergency medication in your bag and some necessary things. And what else? Tips on traveling: complete your documents. Make sure you have your passport, syempre, your card, resident card, your pen. I have my own pen because I have really very strict with touching things. And extra alcohol, not more than 100 ml if you're on the Philippine Airlines. Extra mask. I changed my mask prior to boarding just for my own safety. So yeah, change your mask and enjoy traveling. If you have any questions, just hit me in the questions button and type your whatever your questions. I'll try my best to answer. So this is the second video that I made. From the first one was traveling from JFK to Manila. So this is the second one, traveling from Manila to JFK. So I hope everybody would enjoy. Bye.